Yo, welcome to another edition of the Speaker Geeker Podcast. I'm your host, Steve-O-Steve, and I got my two co-hosts with me, Tommy T and G. So, on today's episode, man, we got a fun one for y'all. We got a lot of news. We got a lot of new music that's been in our speakers. And most importantly, this episode is about that Mary Jane, that marijuana, that what y'all used to call it, that shoot, man, that Grinchy, Grinchy, that high top fade, that shoot, man, that hydro. That's what I was trying to get to. I was to call it that hydro, that reefer. Whether you smoke in a bone or you smoke it in papers. You know, today we are reviewing the BET special called Smoke, Marijuana, and Black America, which was really good, by the way. So without further ado, before we get started, there's a little thing down there somewhere around here, probably over here. If you'll push it, it's called subscribe. It's not hard to do. You know, you just push it, you subscribe, and then you can know whenever we posting something. You understand? Also, you know, if you find us on Facebook, please follow us. You find us on Instagram, please follow us. And once again, subscribe.
Hey, Steve, what you want them to do?
Subscribe. Hey, fellas, how y'all been?
Man, been cooling, man.
Hey, man. Speaking of weed, somebody just came back from Colorado.
Yeah, man. Yeah. We just got back yesterday. Yeah. We got back yesterday. We went down there because it was Allison's birthday was last week. Yeah. So we took a trip for her birthday. I had planned a little trip. Said, all right, we're going to just go to Denver because it wasn't very expensive on like Southwest. I had just was looking at different places, possible destinations. I said, that'd be nice. We get to see some snow-capped mountains and shit. Yeah. And we did just that. And we got to see more than what we thought we was going to see as far as like just the beauty of nature and everything. But of course, while you're there, you must partake.
Got to.
That's what I'm saying. Like you can't go there and be like, yeah. Like, and that's even me. Like I don't even smoke or partake for real. I used to do it a lot. But then I had to give it up because it was just like I was telling Tommy before we started. I can't focus. Like it's just too many things going on at the same time. I can't focus on just one thing. The thing that I like about getting high is like as it's coming down, like as I'm coming down, I start to get more control. Yeah. And I'm still having like the high of like being able to think clearly, but I have more control over like what I want to do. But as I'm still getting high, it's not fun. It's not fun. I've referred to it as a mental prison. I've referred to it as hell. Because it's not a fun place at all. Like at all. And it at this point it's happened like 4 or 5 times. So I'm like, it's just a constant. It's gonna be that way.
That's how it is for you.
Yeah. But
that's crazy.
Hey, but it was fun though, man. We had a great time. We had a great fucking time. I enjoyed it. I got to stand on a frozen lake. That shit was cool.
That's dope. That's dope as hell.
Frozen. I don't know why immediately I thought about Frozen. As soon as you said that,
I don't need that.
Man, you just swore she was out there. It's cold as hell, man.
Oh man.
Yo, Tommy, what you got going on, man?
Man, like
it's
always.
Right up your alley.
Yeah. Like always, man. Just trying to improve, man. Like I have a million ideas in my head, and just trying to get them all on wax or paper. As people will say, you know, but yeah, so that's all for me, man. What about you, bro?
Man, my week was pretty busy. A little bit of work, finishing up Christmas shopping, getting my concealed carry license. So, you know, went to DMV, paid my money, got to go do my fingerprints and all that good stuff.
Y'all have to take the class up there?
Yeah, we took the class.
Oh, do you have to take the class to get the license? 'Cause I know here you can just go pay your money and get the license.
No, you gotta take class.
Yeah, you gotta take the class.
Yeah, you gotta take the class. I'm gonna go later and do the advanced portion of it, but I just did the concealed carry at the beginning. But I'm gonna do the advanced a little later so I can do the open carry and do the lifetime. But for now, getting that in order and then finishing up Christmas shopping and plans and all that, and just enjoying doing some business. It was a little busy last week, a lot of meetings, but it wasn't that bad. We enjoyed it. That's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. I don't have. I don't have nothing extra.
That's what's up.
But
Oh, I'm starting a new book today as well, guys.
Book plug alert.
This one, Between the World and Me. Yeah. We started today. Hopefully I can finish it by the end of the year. That'll be book 3 that I finished this year if I can finish it. But that's the goal.
Applause for non-reading ass Tommy.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate it, guys.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yo, it was, matter of fact, that made me think of something that I did watch that was end up being very interesting. And and I forgot to mention, man, we had a photo shoot that's coming soon. We got a marketing team that's doing some stuff for us. Man, I watched something I think last weekend, cause I put it in the Slack, I think. And I was surprised because it was staring me in the face, and I finally gave in and clicked on it, and it was the Tekashi 69 documentary. Look, check this out. It's an unofficial documentary. So it's not like he's in it, but he's not in it. Like they take sound bites and clips, but it's a guy pretty much going through the story. Yeah. And the funny thing is at the end, you figure out that Tekashi's people actually refused to put him in it. But it was more interesting than I thought. A lot more insightful. You would have thought, by the way they put it on there, I thought it was an official documentary, but it's kind of unofficial. So you're getting it. It's not controlled. I kind of like unofficial documentaries better than the regular documentaries. Yeah. Because you're getting it from people and they're not like controlled, I guess, into a narrative. They're really telling whatever it is. And like I say go check it out. I'm like, I'm really surprised. It gave me some insight. Now I'm like, okay. I see how he is. I see why he why he acts the way he acts. Yeah, absolutely. So go check that out. It's actually a lot more interesting than I thought it would be. So
I had to do that. I hadn't planned on watching it, but now that I get the Steve-O stamp of approval, then I might have to go check that junk out.
Look, I avoided that thing for weeks. Yeah. Remember, we talked about it on the episode. It was like, do we care? And it's like, no. Nah. None of us care. I was that in the Slack.
I don't know, but I know I was like,
we didn't care at all. And then it was just sitting there staring at me. It was like probably like 12 in the morning. I was sipping a little bit and my wife fell asleep.
I'm going to watch this Tekashi.
You know what? I'm tired of staring at me. Let's see what this is about. Like, there's nothing else going on. I'm finna push play. And then when I did, I was like, oh, okay. So it's like an unofficial. So it isn't like him. Yeah, it's, someone else interviewing the people that was around him. And man, I think, I think check it out.
It's way too funny. I probably won't look at it. I ain't gonna lie to you, but I'm just tired of him. Like this is the thing. I'm just tired of him.
Well, I mean, he ain't been around for a while.
Yeah, I hadn't heard anything else about him. And when he popped up on that Hulu screen, I was like, the fuck this nigga come from? Like, I thought we was done. I thought we got rid of him.
Pretty much.
He popped back up like a fucking whack-a-mole. But
not a whack-a-mole.
Yeah, because that's what we've been doing. We've been whacking his ass.
Yeah, that really is what it is. That is a perfect explanation for him.
He had.
Mm-hmm. He thought you did.
If you have a chance and I would say if you have absolutely you have a chance and you don't have nothing to do and it's just there, check it out. and I wouldn't say to check it out if it was like him doing it, but it's because it's an unofficial and he's not really in it. It's just folks talking about it, like it's so much more that I didn't know, like that he had done before we figured out who he was. Yeah, so it's a lot in there. It's pretty interesting. So y'all have a chance.
Visual research paper,
right? Yeah, pretty much.
Gotcha.
Pretty much.
I might be able to look at that. Before I get into like the music for the week, I did want to mention, like when I was on the flight, I got a chance to watch a movie that was pretty good that I recommend to y'all if y'all haven't seen it. It's called Just Mercy. I don't know if y'all seen that movie.
Yes, with
Michael B. Jordan and Jamie Foxx. Yeah. Like that's a good movie.
That is a good.
That is excellent,
solid
movie.
Choice.
I did not expect it to be that good.
What is that? The one where the lawyer? Oh, I watched that.
Oh, you saw it?
I think I did. Mm-hmm. That's when Michael B. Jordan's the lawyer and Jamie Foxx is the one that they're trying to get. I think I saw it.
Yeah,
I just can't remember it. No, I did see it. Yeah, it is really, really good.
Yeah, I went ahead and watched that on the flight because Allison had told me about it because she watched it on the flight previously, and she was like, "Yeah, that was good." So I went ahead and watched it. Man, it was sad as hell when the dude had got executed though. Like the one guy had got executed and they had to shave off his eyebrows. And he was self-conscious about how he looked with his eyebrows off. And I'm like, bro, in the overall scheme of everything going on, that's your worries right now. It's like how you look. It was sad, bro. It was super sad. And it was crazy because it took place in Baldwin County, Alabama. And I used to live in fucking Baldwin County.
Did you?
Yeah, I lived there for 3 years. So it was like, damn, I didn't even know that history existed in that area. It made me want to like reach out to people that I know from down there and be like, bro, why y'all ain't tell me about this shit?
Man, it's crazy. There's so much history out here that people don't speak about. Yeah. And the fact that you mentioned that, my homeboy, John, we call him Merc, threw something in our little group chat about MTSU cross burners. And I never knew about it the whole time. Like none of us knew about it the whole time that we was there, but it's a story about 2 crosses being burnt on MTSU campus, which is like mind-boggling, but yet not surprised. But yeah, it's crazy how much history is out there that people don't decide or they don't want to talk about or want to completely like not pay attention to. So I'm with you on that, G.
Yeah, I got some phone calls and shit to make. But anyway.
Well, have you guys heard anything in the news this week?
Man, it has been a lot of news. And I'm kind of going back in a couple different weeks, but it's been a lot of news. One thing, I don't know if y'all heard it, but I actually saw this one on, sorry guys, got to clear my throat. But there's an article on BET right now about Lupe Fiasco. And basically what he pretty much said was that, you know, if you want to come see him in concert, you're going to have to take that COVID-19 vaccine. Because right now, and it sprung off of, if people haven't heard, the UK is actually going to be probably the first place where they put the vaccine. Well, Pfizer gets their vaccine in use. And off of that, Lupe said that, hey, if you want to see him in concert, you need to take that vaccine. So that was an interesting one. And I don't know how to feel about it. I get it though. I get it, but I don't know.
I wouldn't go. You just want to go. You ain't gonna force my hand to take no vaccine.
I've seen him posting about it recently on Instagram about like taking the vaccine, telling people to take the vaccine and stuff like that. But hell no. Nigga. Like, I ain't finna be no guinea pig.
Bro, I just think about what is it, Tuskegee, and they did the syphilis trial thing. That's what I think about.
Yeah.
So I still stand by once Fauci and Dr. Fauci and my wife say it's good and we taking it. That's what I'm gonna take it.
There you go.
Then you're ready to go.
I'm gonna follow the lead of black women. So as soon as black women be like, all right, go get that vaccine, then I'll be like, all right, I got you.
I don't know what I don't know. I think my wife is kind of in that boat where she's like, I don't know, even though we've actually had it. I'm kind of like, you know, but I'm reading into things and looking up stuff and just kind of trying to be as knowledgeable as possible. Yeah. And they are like trying to like figure out, all right, you know, how we going to get people to take it, because it seems like a majority of people do not want to. And then even President Bush said that he would take it. He would take it, and you can actually he would do it live on TV as well as I think Obama said he would, as well as Bill Clinton. So
look at these folks stepping up. Where the fuck Trump at?
He ain't taking that shit.
You know what Trump at? Trump over there still crying about his loss. Man over here licking his wounds. He's still pissed. Holding the United States hostage and stuff. Like, man, we done moved on, bro. Like, come on. Man, and some other news, man. Wiz Khalifa, man. Wiz Khalifa and Michael Strahan. Damn, that does say Michael Strahan. I didn't realize that's what it said. Wiz Khalifa and Michael Strahan was hit with a Khalifa Kush lawsuit. One of their partners is actually suing them based off of pretty much let's see, per court documents obtained by the Blast, the director and managing agent for Kuzi Consulting, one or two, Carlos Arias. I'm sorry, I probably butchered your name. My bad. You sound
like you butchered his name.
Aries. Yeah, my bad. I apologize. Claims he was denied interest from the company's proceeds, including a cannabis license deal valued no less than $20 million. It's unclear how much in damages Aries is seeking from the lawsuit, but he did claim that Strahan and Khalifa stole more than $100 million in assets by not involving him in the Strand's business deals. So, yo, man, that sucks. I hope they can get that situated, because I hate when folks get sued over something.
I had no idea that Wiz Khalifa and Michael Strahan was in business together.
You know what's crazy?
As surprised.
I know, and I like read this article and didn't really realize until I said out loud that was Michael Strahan.
Yeah.
I was like, wait,
Michael Strahan.
Michael Strahan. But hey, man, you know, we smokers unite.
Yeah, you definitely be surprised who's in business with each other.
I know, right? There's a lot of money to be made. I'm telling you,
and a lot of people are making it.
Absolutely. Another article, man. Shout out to the NBA right now, man. They are changing their weed testing policies. They're actually going to let me see. The NBA's drug policy is nearly mature. Upon testing the THC, a player considered positive is a symbol. Let me see. That might not be what I'm saying. But let me see. They are to continue policies of not testing players. So basically, they're changing their policy, trying to be a little more lenient with that, and which, in my opinion, is probably a good thing. When it's dealing with weed. So it all deals with suspensions, and this, I believe, is going to be a part of that 2021 season and going forward. And it's going to be interesting to see what happens if they're going to like completely stop testing them, at least for marijuana, or not. So I think the NFL has something coming too that I think I came across. So in those predominantly African-American leagues, I think this is good, because it appears that we are targeted the most when it comes to this, which is something that we'll get into a little later. But man, shouts to the NBA and hopefully the NFL as far as the new policies regarding marijuana. What y'all got? Y'all got some comments on it? Or y'all just like, it's all good?
Nah, I'm all good with that one.
Yes. Like you said, we'll get back to that in a little bit when we talk about the documentary.
Absolutely.
They spoke on NFL a little bit.
Yeah.
With that one. So
absolutely. Man, last thing I got in the news, Joe Biden, our president-elect Joe Biden is there's an article out there today where the House of Representatives passes marijuana legalizing bill. This is going to be very interesting, because right now Biden is in favor of decriminalizing on the low-level possession of marijuana, and not only that, the House is working on something for that. So let's see where that goes, man. That's pretty big.
That's
pretty
huge,
big.
Man.
That's pretty big.
That's huge.
Yeah. Absolutely.
That's why it's important for Georgians to vote.
Yes.
Absolutely.
In this next election, man, because it's stuff like that. It's what's hanging in the balance. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like that's it's a lot, man. We'll talk about it in later on in the episode, man.
All this deferring.
Right. I defer.
Man.
I did have two things, man. The first thing, Meek Mill, it was Meek Mill. I guess he saw some kids selling water in Atlanta and he gave them $20 with no water, selling water, and he gave them $20. And what they were saying was for the kids to split the $20 among them. It was like, I think I'm looking on Complex now, and it's made 6 to 8 kids out here he gave $20 to for them to split. And people are like, why'd he give them 20? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a bad thing. He didn't have to give them anything.
No.
Like, that's the thing I'm looking at. He didn't have to give them anything just because they didn't give him any water. Yeah. Like he wasn't asking for water. They just came up to his car. It was like, hey, you want to buy some water? And he was like, here's $20. I
wonder. All right, I'm going to speak about it. I might go through the quick rant. It's going to be really quick, but we got to stop being entitled. You know, just because he got bread don't mean he give it all away. I think people got to stop being entitled, thinking, hey, you should have gave more, you should have gave less. Look, like you just said, he didn't have to give them nothing. And I kind of wonder what the story was behind that, because, I mean, it sounded like don't nobody know how many kids were actually out there. Yeah. They say 6 to 8. I'm going to go with the lower number of 6. So, you know, you take, like, what was he supposed to give them? He supposed to give them all $100 a piece?
Yeah, I guess so.
Like, what was they, like, what were their ages? Like, what were they going to go do with this money, you know?
Right.
The fact that they was hustling the water, he probably paid them for, like, the rest of the water that they had. You know? Yeah. But then actually take the water so they can make more money. So it really depends, because, like, I mean, I look at it from if I look at it from kind of like a hustler standpoint, or even a parent standpoint, like, look, I know he gave them $20 a split, but why would I give them $20 a piece? That could pretty much become a crush, because they may just go home instead of selling the rest of the water to make more money, to learn, all right, you want more, make more, let's work some more out. Because he could have just gave them whatever it cost them to get the water. If they all put together $20 to get, you know what I'm saying, all these cases of water, he gave them back what they initially put in so that they would get more profit. Like, some people don't be paying attention to that, but
and that's the thing, man. It's like people are on here like, oh, you give back to the hood, give back to the hood. You're always saying that, but then you give them $20. I'm like, he did them a favor.
Yeah.
You know, if it's 50 cents, if it's a quarter, if it's 10 cents, he did them a favor. And by giving them $20, he didn't have to do that. The more bothersome thing is the fact that somebody recorded. I think he recorded him doing that. Like, I hate that. Like, if you're gonna do something, don't do it for show. Just do it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's for me, it's more received if I do it. Now, if I see a homeless guy on the street and I give him my coat, I didn't do justice by, let me film it, giving him my coat. No, I did it because that's something that was on my heart at that moment, and I needed to do that. Now, I can understand if I have somebody filming me before I do that, and I see him and I do it, and
which could have been the case.
Could have been, but he was driving though.
Well, a lot of people film while driving, and
it's illegal. In
that don't mean you don't do it.
It's illegal. I'm just saying it's illegal to do that in Georgia. But
we can get on Facebook right now. Somebody driving and recording.
But still, I just feel like, it's man, just do stuff out of the bottom of your heart. Don't
live record.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, they be having the thing in the dash cam and stuff like that, man. So, but that was the thing about that, which I don't get what people are upset about or what people are like saying because he did them a favor. So he didn't have to give them anything. It's my whole point. So
and maybe that was all the $20 he had on him.
Right.
He was like, here, bro, this is all I get.
Right.
And I haven't seen the footage, but what if he gave them more? You just didn't see it in the footage.
Nah, he gave him 20. He said he gave him 20.
I ain't seen the footage. So
nah, he was like, they appreciated it. I'm just reading a tweet from him. He was like, they appreciated it. They just hustling kids. Because the kids were like, I guess I ain't watched the video, but the kids, I'm assuming, were like, oh, you just gave us $20 and he's sitting in this luxury car and blah, blah, this. But hey, it is what it is on that.
I don't even carry $20 on me.
Man, you got nothing from Greg.
I would just kept rolling, man, because I wouldn't have wanted water. Right. Oh, that's too funny, man. My other news is Tiana Taylor is retiring.
Oh yeah,
from the industry, which I hate to see her go, but I do feel like she was snubbed in this. Because I think the thing was because she didn't get nominated for a Grammy. And it was like all dudes in the category she would have been nominated for and stuff like that. I hate to see that, bro, because I was a big advocate for this last album that I felt like would be album of the year. Boy, was I wrong.
No, I'm not going to say he was wrong because the running joke is that the Grammys always get it wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
they really do. They always do. I don't know why. I have not a clue. But I don't think you're wrong because even the fans show so much appreciation after she's, it was either before she said it or what. But, the people show so much appreciation. And I think that's where, me personally, we gotta stop letting these war shows define us, man. Appreciate, cause get the appreciation. I know we want the award, but at the end of the day, man, I don't remember who I was talking to about it. But I don't think it's a defining moment. Like, oh, you won a Grammy. I feel like the Grammys don't mean as much as it did back then. Back in the day. I think a lot more politics have to do with it today, but you do want something more than just a paycheck from your music. You want some type of recognition. And she felt like, and I felt like this album that she made was artistically amazing. Like this album should have won more than just nothing. More than just not being nominated, more than, you know what I'm saying? But I doubt that it didn't win anything. I'm sure she got something.
Well, I honestly don't know. I don't know if she got anything for this album, but obviously she didn't get what she wanted from this album. And, I hate to see her leaving the way she is and stuff like that because she's an artist. That's an art that we're gonna miss out on because, like this album, her dance, her like being artistically is amazing for the world, man. And so,
I mean, she's so talented. She she's just gonna find another lane to do what she wants. But I truly think that I'm in agreement. Charlamagne said something so important, and I agree with him. If y'all know who Charlamagne is, Breakfast Club, Brilliant Idiots, all the stuff that he's done, he's incredible. But he's been incredible. But I agree with him, man. Go where you appreciate it. Like, why is the Grammys the end all be all? Why does the Grammys even make you feel this way? Yes, it sucks if you don't get nominated for it, and they made it seem like it's the highest stage. But man, if that,
right.
I feel like it's easier said than done, though.
Yeah.
Like it's like I'm looking at her nominations and awards just via Wikipedia, and this lady has been out for a lot of years, and she has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 nominations in all, and she's won 3, and 2 of those came this year from the BET Awards and the BET Hip Hop Awards, both of them for Video Director of the Year. The other one was Best Choreography. It says MTV Video Music Awards. But as far as like music itself, she has not won anything for her music. She nothing. And like I have sat here for the last few months every week and listened to Tommy tell me how great this album is.
Right.
So like it has a lasting impact. And if it struck a nerve with him in that way, I can imagine what kind of a nerve it struck with her personally.
Right.
For her to feel like put it out there like that and to think, man, this is the one. This is the jump right here. Like if niggas don't appreciate this, I don't know what the hell they want. Right. And I feel like that's probably where she had gotten to as far as like her process mentally. And to put that out and to still not get the recognition, that shit had to be so crushing.
Right.
To be like, nigga, I put it all on the line.
Right.
I did my absolute best work and nobody paid a damn.
Nothing? Absolutely nothing.
Like nothing. Not at all.
No, I'm done with this.
Yeah.
And and like I agree. I mean, shit, we did a whole album review and talked about how great it was and how it would be this amazing album. I just think that I get it. It definitely is. I know it's soul crushing. My thing is, we gotta change our mentality because like the gratitude. When you put it out, yes, you want awards, but the gratitude really comes from your fans, you know, from, you know, like all of us, like we did a whole episode on just that album, how we enjoyed it from front to back. Like, I don't want her to quit music because a award show decided that she wasn't good enough. Forget that, man. Like, you know, and maybe it's selfish on my part because I want to continue to hear and see Tiana Taylor, which I know she's incredibly talented. She's going to find a way back in the scene anyway, even if she's just directing stuff. But it's like, yo, your stuff was crazy, incredibly great. And even like the fans put together something so crazy for her. And she even like was, thank you, this was great, but I'm retiring because of whatever. You just kind of like, you're like, damn, bro. Like the people who you put it out for received it. You know?
I can see that too. Yeah.
I'll make her award. Let's make a Speaker Geek award and send it.
Yes, nigga. We should start doing that. We should start giving out little Speaker Geeker awards.
Yeah, I just need an address. I'll mail it.
Man, we can do it.
We can.
Holler at your boys.
Let's do it.
Like for real.
Yeah.
Send you a fucking award.
Right.
Absolutely. Because that thing was fire.
Bruh. Period. Bruh. It's still album of the year to me, man.
Me too.
Album of the year. No, two things. The Grammys, in my eyes, is huge. I'm a big person with like being celebrated for what you're doing. You know, it's kind of like how the Apollo has history behind it of all these greats. I'm sharing this stage with that these greats have been on. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. That's the way I look at the Grammys for like artists, because just like when we win what they call Grammys, like for when we win a Grammy, like the one thing that's gonna go through my mind is Michael Jackson was on this stage, Jay-Z was on this stage. You know, they were here. They have one of these. Outkast has one of these. You know what I'm saying? And it puts me in that mindset. So that's one thing. That's one thing. The other thing is, damn, I don't forgot what the other thing was. What were we talking about?
The Grammys, man. What happened? While you figure it out what that second thing was, I'm gonna play devil's advocate because Jay actually boycotted the Grammys.
But does he not have them?
He got them, but
Right,
if you look around a lot of hip hop, like Wayne uses it as an ashtray and drinks out of it. So for me, like long as everybody appreciate what I got going on, man, bump a hunk of metal. I'm winning, like I'm running, like I like I don't want to like, hey, you can critique it, say what you want, but look here.
I mean, for me, it's not gonna stop me from like working as hard as possible, doing the thing that I love to do. But then the other thing was, if you look at it from this standpoint, for her, let's say you work at a job. How long has she been in the industry? Like 10, 12 years now. You work at a job and you're doing your best work, but you're never getting recognized for it. You're not going to stay at that company. You're not getting promotions. You're not getting recognized. You're not getting anything extra. You're not going to stay at that company, man. You're leaving as soon as you can.
In that situation, the fan appreciation amounts to like your coworkers telling you that they've seen you do a good job. It's like, thank you, bro.
Right, I appreciate that. I really do.
Nigga, they got to do something else for me.
Right. Yeah. Like at one point in time, it meant something. You can say Grammy nominated or Grammy Award winner or what's the other awards for music? I
don't think the other ones are as big, but like American Music Awards.
Right. You can say all that stuff associated with your name and stuff like that. And that carries weight. That carries a price tag on it too.
I don't know if it does anymore.
That's the thing. It's like it does and it don't to me. Maybe not
as far
to
as like bookings go.
Yeah.
I don't see how it wouldn't, because like it's still a fucking exclusive club.
Right.
I mean, ain't enough niggas with them to be like, nah, we not gonna pay you for that.
Yeah, nah,
it's an exclusive club to the industry. As like the industry appreciates it more than the fans. Like, if you're on the street and you bring up Eminem, like how dope he was and how great he is down in the South. I literally did this in a barbershop one time, by the way. And I had a young partner. He was like, Eminem, man, bump Eminem, man. I'm listening to Gucci. And he was just like, wait, what? And like Gucci don't have, to my recollection, Gucci ain't got none of that. None of those accolades, that not even on the same playing field as him. So like, I don't think it means like, but in the industry, like, cause I worked in the industry for like 10 years, I see where like in the industry, like we would send, when we would win awards at BMI, I used to work at BMI. When we win awards, you would get those emails like, hey, we took 60, 70% of the Grammys, our artist won, blah, blah, blah. And it's a great thing. We're like, yeah, we the best, blah, blah, blah. But to the street, it's like, nah, like they cool, but we listen to this over here. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's people who haven't even great, like Ross doesn't even have one. But yeah, he's like, when it comes to that rap stuff, he's the man, period.
Right.
Like, just crazy. So I don't, like, as far as like, I guess getting things inside of the industry, I agree. It's a big platform to probably get to wherever inside of the industry. But outside of the industry, I don't think people care like that anymore.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, because if I'm trying to book you for Greg's party, I'm not paying you more because you got a Grammy, my nigga. Like, I don't care, because Greg's budget ain't that big anyway. Right. So I'm like, nigga, you gonna take this money or no?
Right.
Yeah. Exactly. And like,
but you think about it, if you're doing a big event, you have this Grammy nominated or Grammy Award winning artist here, you can charge more for that event because of that artist.
But that's like, because it's like corporate money and shit. Like, if it's the event,
I guess I look at it.
FedEx. If FedEx is throwing some kind of banquet and they want to book Tiana Taylor, then yeah, she can hit them with their Grammy nominated bullshit. But she can't hit Greg with that shit ever. Like, I'm always gonna be like, nigga, the price is the price. Like, that's it.
Look, we'll use this in the intro, but Hey, we down here in this, we going to Club Prima, whatever it's gonna be called, Club Onyx, Thursday night. We got Tiana Taylor in the building. Goddamn it, let's go.
That's security strictly enforced.
Yeah, right. We gonna make sure you get in and out safe. You got an hour set. You can do 30 minutes if you want to.
18 to get in, 21 to fall down.
Man, but I think we're gonna miss out on the gym. Hopefully she pulls one of those Jay-Z retirements and retire today and then come out next year with a new album. And hopefully she gets what she wants. So it's basically her way of saying she's unhappy with the situation that she's in, so she's done. So I get it from her standpoint. She got to do what's best for her and her family, her mental state, and everything like that. So shout out to Tiana Taylor.
We love you.
Yeah, we definitely
do.
We're
going to send you a Speaker Geekers award.
Definitely.
We just got to figure out how to get one made.
Yeah, that's the easy part. Here. We just got to design it. So
that's true.
So what would be on the Speaker Geekers award?
I don't know.
I don't know.
We got to figure that out.
We got to figure that one out, man. But shout out to Tiana Taylor, man.
And she'll probably invoke some change.
Yeah, for sure, man. So. I said we need to apply to become people to vote for the Grammys and stuff too. So
absolutely,
yeah.
We're gonna have research and development look into that for us.
I think I sent it in the Slack.
You did, but I didn't read it.
I know Tyke fuck with it.
Yeah, he's actually on
that for a minute.
Yeah. So, Greg, you got any news?
No, man. We can jump on
and get into it.
Yeah.
Okay. So as everybody knows, the House has passed. Like Steve mentioned earlier, the House passed a bill that federally legalizes marijuana. I'm paraphrasing that. It decriminalizes marijuana for federal purposes. Damn, can't talk today. So because of that, we wanted to check out this documentary that BET put on that Nas actually produced called Smoke, Marijuana, and Black America. Awesome documentary. Definitely wanted to smoke afterwards, throughout and before I started watching it.
I ain't gonna lie, I immediately wanted to invest. I was like, man,
right. It puts you in that mode.
Let's get a dispensary.
Right. I immediately was like, how do I get involved? I'd have a way of doing it, but working on that. But the one thing that I want to start with, what was y'all thoughts on the documentary itself, how it was put together, and the information that was given out? How do you feel about it?
Trying to see how I wanted to say it, because I liked the documentary, I really did.
Yeah.
I wish I could have watched it without commercials. I just hate that.
I just watched it on YouTube.
See,
I did too.
Smart people.
No commercials.
I watched it on the fucking BET app trying to and they had commercials, so it was broken up into pieces and stuff. And so I hate the whole format of, I know this is for TV, so we have to build in places where we can cut for commercials and shit. That shit just detracts from a linear format for me.
Yeah.
But other than that, I didn't have too many gripes. I like how they broke it up into sections, where they talked about it in conjunction with athletics. They talked about it as far as the war on drugs. They talked about its influence on popular culture. Mm-hmm. I liked how they broke that up, and some of the people that they had on there. They had some pretty decent people on there to kind of talk about it and give some credibility to the sections that they spoke about.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, I thought it was great. Actually, there was no bad acting this time. It was just straight through.
Yeah.
A couple people popped in there that I didn't expect, which was like Freeway Rick Ross popping in there.
Mm-hmm.
Him and his son, Biggie's son. I didn't expect that. I expected to see Be Real because he's been in it, for a long time, man. It was revolutionaries in there. I can't believe they found Ricky Williams.
Yeah.
Man, he looks different, by the way. But then also seeing Kamala Harris, seeing a lot of people in there talk about, like G said, man, the war on drugs stuff. Also how NFL and NBA seems to be more targeted than MLB and NHL. And just kind of, even Ricky Williams spoke about it. He was like, I never saw it that way. I never thought to see it that way. Because of course he was playing, but I never thought about it that way either. That, of course MLB is more of a white male sport.
Yeah.
And, it ain't that many black folks, so they don't even test for it. Whereas NBA and NFL is like targeted, and which NFL and NBA is a African American dominated sport. So that was very interesting. I really loved the way it was put together. It looked great, looked like a real documentary feel, and I like these shorter documentaries. I think I'm sure they can go longer, but I seem to get the message. Like, it's straight to the point. I didn't know Nas smoked like that. That was surprising. That was surprising.
Nah, I enjoyed it either.
Yeah, it flowed well too.
Oh,
you saw it from the music to sports to politics. So I enjoyed it.
Less than 1% owners in the cannabis industry today are Black and Latino. But a statistic that they kept bringing up was around 85% of the people that are jailed are Black, and for marijuana. You know what I'm saying? They jail for marijuana are Black. That type of discrepancy is detrimental to the community, basically, for the lack of better words. So for that to be a statistic today in the industry, what are some things that in this documentary made you guys think of, like, for a change? For example, they used I don't remember his name, but he got life for marijuana. I hate that I can't remember his name. I thought I wrote it down.
I can't remember his name. Something started with a C. Yeah.
But he basically got life for selling weed, and it's like how this young man gets life for selling weed, and then now weed is legal in the state. I believe that he was selling it in. So weed is legal. Why isn't he, like, why can't we relook at his case? Because he got life for weed and it's legal now. That just doesn't communicate, and it leads to a bigger issue as far as the community itself. Like the issue of how tougher the laws were for Black people. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think they had a statistic like 81% of owners in the weed industry are white, where it's so difficult for people of color to actually become owners, get their license and pay for it and all this and all that. Like, this documentary really opened eyes for me on the things that needs to be done and on the things that I personally should be involved in. Not just on a weed level, but just things that I should definitely pay attention to when it comes to my community, because we have this podcast and it affects 90% of our community. 90% of our community would look at our podcast, you know what I'm saying? Or would listen to our podcast because of the content that we're talking about. This being put on by Nas made it relevant to our podcast because just about all the music you listen to, somebody's talking about weed. One of y'all favorite rappers, Currency. Come on, man. Majority of his music is about weed and cars. You know, one of the greatest rap albums ever to be released, The Chronic, weed. You know what I'm saying? So it has such a rich history within our community. What are your thoughts on the ownership aspect in the industry and the lack thereof?
Steve, you want to go ahead?
Yeah.
I said all that to say that.
For me, it's okay. There's two. I'm gonna go like two different ways. Where I got 2 points with it, basically.
Yeah.
There was a couple in the documentary who owned their dispensary and everything. They were in Colorado. Did y'all go to it? Was that the one y'all went to?
No, we didn't go to that one. No. Okay. I didn't even know that one existed at that time.
So they actually went through how they had all their paperwork and stuff in order. And they actually broke it down to like, all right, this is how you got to operate as being, you know what I'm saying, African-American in America when you have a business like this. Or just if you're doing business, period, you need all your T's crossed and all your I's dotted, all your D's, properly, everything needs to be on point because they actually rated their shop. Yeah. Just trying to find something and said that it was gang related stuff going on, which is, BS. So, for people who want to own, don't have step.
Mm-hmm.
And I
said, Rico at your ass.
Yeah, they gonna try to do something. And so when I say that to say this, for some of the individuals who are selling weed and you not having all your paperwork in order, man, get your stuff right. Get your stuff right, because if you don't have it's like running a business and you don't have your permits, they're gonna shut you down. I don't want you to go to jail, and I hate that it's mostly us who go. Mm-hmm. But if you don't have your stuff together, you're giving them the reason to pretty much do whatever they want. And it sucks because I'm sure there's other businesses, like we said, is what, like 80, like I think 85% is white who's getting rich off of the business. They actually brought up, who's the reporter? I can't remember his name. That they talked about, who at one point was completely against weed.
John Boehner.
Yeah.
Yes.
Speaker of the House.
Yes. And he decided, and then, he said that he changed his stance, but then when they asked him about decriminalization of it, he then gave some BS that I didn't notice that, that was happening.
Right.
How could you not? How could you not? The statistics are there, but that tells you there that, hey, when it comes to money, then that's when they're going to accept it and do what they want to do with it. So when I say all that to say this, you become their competition. Mm-hmm. So, yes, we've gotten, most of our people have gotten black and brown, African-American and Latino have been locked up for this and are doing crazy amount of times for a little bit of, $20 worth of marijuana. Whereas, but you become their competition. And if you are not doing it the right way and you have all your stuff in order, be very careful, because it's a chance that they'll take any chance to take you off the map, and then they'll put the other business right there in front of you. So, I want more ownership. Like I said, after looking at it, I was like, yeah, I think I want to get into this. But I know if I'm going to get into it, I'm going to come correct to the point where, hey, you step up in my establishment, all my papers are right here. You're going to have to walk your little ugly tail back up out of there. Just don't half step. I need our community go all the way if you're going to do it, period. Mm-hmm. Don't open up your doors and you ain't got your permit yet. I don't care if it's coming tomorrow.
Yeah.
I don't care if they tell you could. Like, it'll be here tomorrow, you'll be fine. No, get your stuff in order. Because just like we seen in the documentary, they had their stuff in order and they still rated their place. Right. For what? And there was even a gentleman who got locked up for his business And he came back a little, he got out a little later and went right back into it. But still, like, we're targeted. We have real bullseyes on our back. Please do it correctly. Do it as by the book as possible.
And that speaks to Corvain Cooper was the father that was sentenced to life for selling marijuana.
I knew it was something with a V, but I couldn't think of it.
I thought Corvain was the last name.
Yeah, I was like, I don't remember it. It was a different kind of name.
I'll try to look it up a second.
Yeah, but the thing, it goes to a deeper thing when we talk about systematic racism as well. Mm-hmm. It's like, man, you have this system that's set up for minorities to fail.
Yes.
But for the majority to succeed. And then it's you take the John Bonner, I think that's how you say Boehner approach to it. It's bad, but until it benefits me, that's when I had a change. Mm-hmm. But if you like this, we're talking about
nigga shit. Right. It was nigga shit at first, and then once it became something that he could actually regulate
that he can profit from,
then it changes.
Yeah,
like a bitch.
Right? Like how? That's like no, you don't do that. And then like you sitting up here, you saying, "Oh, my eyes have changed," but you don't do anything to correct the issue from the whole the system.
Yeah.
Not only that, he played like he had no recollection of it.
Like he didn't know it happened.
Yeah.
So how is it that you can rule on the issue, right? You can say that marijuana is bad. Marijuana does not need to be legalized and blah this, and you're not going to legalize it. But then you don't know why people are trying to legalize it.
It ain't got shit to do with it. I wanted to point something out. So we've been talking about, and we're throwing out these statistical percentages out here of like 85% of drug-related arrests have something to do with marijuana, and we know that most of those arrests are people of color. Yeah. And then I heard, Tommy, I heard you say, I think less than 1% of the entire industry is owned by people of color or black and brown people. Yeah. Somewhere I saw a 4% somewhere, but I had wrote it down. Maybe that was wrong. I'm gonna share something. When we got to Colorado this past weekend, because I think this is hilarious that there's a correlation here. The first thing we noticed is one, it ain't no niggas nowhere. Like, where are the black people?
Yeah, that's true.
And so Allison looked up the population demographics and almost parallel. 81% of the population of Colorado is white. And then about 4% of the population of Colorado is black people. And so it's hilarious that when you talk about industry share, that those numbers almost line up as far as like who owns how much, as far as how much we can own. Which some people would say that that's about what you want to shoot for. You want to shoot for it to be representative of the population.
Right.
But I don't think it has shit to do with being representative of the population. I think it has to do with one side dominating the market. It's just saying like we own this market. So something that stuck out to me was that like we talk about John Boehner and not being involved and condemning marijuana until it benefited him. So most of the time with people of color, and this is something that I'm borrowing this concept from this show called Fargo, but most of the time with people of color, when we get into an area, as far as settling in an area, we're behind already because white folks already been there and they have already set up shop and established what you can do legally to profit economically. We come in, we knock on the door, we like, hey, we here, we're able-bodied, we smart, we can work. And then they'd be like, fuck you niggas, get the hell out of here. Then we turn to alternate economies. The alternate economies, a lot of the times, includes the sale of drugs. So we master these systems because we don't have no fucking choice.
Right,
That's the only way we can make some money is to sell the things that are in this alternate economy. And so we master this shit. We have great systems. We develop like distribution systems and all kind of shit, which is why they call the nigga freeway. Ricky Ross.
Right.
Like we develop distribution systems like that span a long way, like that are foolproof, that somebody has perfected the science on this shit. Then we get locked up for the shit because white people ain't got no piece of it. They ain't making no money off of it. They looking at it and saying, damn, I thought I kicked you out. I thought when I told you that you couldn't work for me and you couldn't do this legal shit, that was going to get rid of you. I can't believe that you went behind my back and developed another economy where you could profit without me having nothing to do with it.
Right.
Sending your ass to jail. You send all these people to jail. Now that you've cleared the fucking way, because the market still exists, even though you've taken all of the players out of the game. Now you can go in and you can learn the system. Because this system that they're implementing in these states that are legalizing marijuana is not something that they have just figured out.
Right.
Done the research and just figured out, like, no, nigga, they know how to do this because people been doing this shit. They learned this shit from the people that they locked up. They went in and found their systems and said, "Ooh, cool." Now that it's just like when you watch like those old movies or documentaries like Narcos and shit, and like when they knock off the kingpin, then other people come scrambling in to take over all of the shit that he built. That's what's happening. Is they go in and they take over all of the pathways and distribution networks and shit that these people of color have set up, and then they just call it legal now. And now you can put it in a storefront with the name on the front that insinuates weed. Like now you can do it out in the open, almost as a taunt. Like, bitch, you had to do this shit in silence. But like, look what I can do. I can like put up a storefront and do this shit in public next to your Walgreens. Like, it's crazy.
It's the craziest thing, bro.
That you can come in and just do that after you have locked people out of your economy for so long. And then like to come back to what Steve was saying about like black people in the future, like if we want to get involved into this developing economy or this developing boom of the marijuana business, like having our I's dotted and our T's crossed, kind of like that example family that they had in the documentary, like that is definitely the way to move as far as like not being bothered by like whoever the local authorities are on commerce. But I would definitely say like take that with a grain of salt as like being your ultimate protection from that, because like places like Tulsa, Oklahoma do exist in history where niggas had things lined up the way that it was supposed to be lined up. And what happens when you have all your shit in a row and there is no legal way to get you out the way, things like that happen. So like, I would say that that's something that needs to be in your mind as you're going into this business as well. It's like having your I's dotted and your T's crossed. It may stave off opposition, but it's not going to ultimately save you. Like you have to be prepared to like, for real, have your business and like make sure people don't come in and take over it. Because niggas coming in and like raiding your place and saying, oh, it was gang activity. That's ridiculous.
That's crazy.
Like, how you gonna come kick in my door? Like that's some crazy shit when you think about that. Like if you take out the fact that it's a legal authority, if you take that out of the equation, that's just some nigga running up in your house. That's just a kick though. Nigga coming up in your house trying to take your shit. And it's like, what?
Right.
Like in the school of music that we come from, where we listen to niggas like Yo Gotti say like he ran up in your house and took your shit and you ain't do shit, you was a bitch. Like that kind of shit is like in my mind. So I'm like, you ain't supposed to just run up in your shit and just like take everything, seize all your assets, and then you supposed to just be like, all right, I gotta start over. Like what? No. Come on, bro. That's
absolutely.
Another thing that we're like not saying, but the family that happened to, she had been politically on the front line. You know, so she had contacts with people in high places.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So to actually help her. So like both of you guys said, man, when it comes to stuff like that, you gotta have everything lined up and a backup. You know what I'm saying? Just to protect yourself, like having people that you like, not necessarily you guys can be in the same industry, but having friends to speak for you, you know what I'm saying, to speak up for you and stuff like that is also important when it comes to things like that. Because the way that the industry is designed for minorities not to succeed because it's so hard for minorities to get involved. Another aspect of it is the mindset behind weed and the marijuana industry, just because like you have the war on drugs from the 80s, right? You remember, I mean, I know you guys remember DARE. You know, I don't know what it stands for, but drugs against, I can't remember what it stands for, but
drug abuse resistance education. I think.
That's it.
Yeah.
So you had that, but marijuana was put into that big plate, was basically boiled into it, and then here come the 90s with the crime bill. So anything associated with, especially with our generation, 80s and 90s, has been negative. That's been an association with weed. It's like weed was bogged in the 80s with crack and cocaine and all that other drugs, and then in the 90s people getting life because they ain't got 3 drug charges with marijuana. You know, so it's like, bruh, like we grow up, we get grown, and we realize like weed wasn't what they were saying it was. You know what I'm saying? So we have this whole different mindset, and then some people still have that negative connotation to it. You know, like smoking is bad. Yes, the act of smoking is bad for your body, but marijuana, you can cook with it. You can eat it. You know what I'm saying? Like a edible. You can use it as butter. You can, you know, infuse it in stuff and everything like that. You can smoke it if you want to. But it doesn't have that negative connotation to it, in my eyes. But, you know, it having that negative connotation to it while growing up, that's the hard part. That's the hard part to get around, you know, and for a lot of people. So that too, I felt like is one of the reasons why we have a small ownership, because like Steve said, man, watching that makes me want to get involved, you know, makes me want to go ahead and invest in a dispensary and get involved on that end. But somebody else could be like, nah, it's still bad, you know, because of the picture that has been painted in their head.
That makes me think of the basketball player that was on there where he was talking to his grandma about her ailments, her many ailments.
Yeah, right.
And he convinced her to, you know, try to use some marijuana, and she did, and she was just so overjoyed and happy about the effects that it had on, like the health benefits that she experienced, and her being able to see again the way that she once could, and read her Bible the way that she wanted to read her Bible, which was hilarious to me.
Right.
Also the and I'm trying to find the cast because I'm tired of being like crap. I can't remember someone's
name. That was
name.
Al Harrington that you was talking about, Greg.
Okay, Al Harrington.
Yeah. Also the WNBA star, I'm gonna say her name wrong. Parker. Cheyenne Parker. I think that's her name. She actually spoke on it too, as far as when she was in college, and you know, she noticed that, you know, her whole thing, you know, it made people, it helped them, not hurt them. Both athletes actually talked about it, you know, when what's his name again? Al. Let's call him Al. When Al, you know, was sent on a store run and came, you know, to get some, you know, some cigars to, you know, for some other players, and he walks into the room and like it's smoked out, but the next day they on the court, like just destroying folks,
balling.
Like his whole, you know what I'm saying, him and her, their whole viewpoint of it changed, because like everything they were told was a lie. Like if you do this, it will ruin your life.
Right.
But you find out that it doesn't.
Yeah.
Now the harder stuff, yes, yeah.
You got to do too much to it, man.
Hey, but as far as marijuana, like I can even attest to like go back to college. I haven't seen anybody just flunk out because they got too high.
Yeah.
Most time they was already headed out anyway.
Yeah.
But you know, that negative stereotype that they placed on they categorize all drugs together.
Yeah.
And it was like, you know what I'm saying, one bad apple. You know, you ever heard that? You remember that? What they used to tell us?
Or something like that.
Yeah, one bad apple spoils the bunch. This is a prime example of it. One bad apple spoils the bunch. You know, and you know, unfortunately, there's many bad apples when it comes to drugs, but weed was that one apple that really doesn't do what they want to say that it does.
Yeah. It's crazy, man. This documentary definitely, for me, it wasn't like so much more so of, oh, I'm learning something new. It was more so of drawing attention to the disparities between Black people and white people, honestly. Even though, you know, you got your Latinx, I guess they call them Latinx, right?
Yeah.
You got your other minorities involved in it, but for the most part, it's Black versus white in that situation. How they associated weed in the beginning, like I think they said maybe in the 70s. They associated weed with Black people. You know, Black people were the ones that smoked weed and everything like that. And so you fast forward to now where we recognize, like we talked about it before, like everybody smokes weed. Like out of us, we all know somebody that smokes weed, if not ourselves, or have before. Our presidents, Bill, Bush, and Obama have smoked weed before. They have said it. You know, so it's like now it's such a normal thing, where it started from being a negative thing that is something that the Blacks do. You know, which I hate that shit, man. Like it
the Blacks?
No, like just it's like everything that we did or started to do was always looked at as being negative, as being a bad thing that we do it that way, or
to this day,
or it's poor to do something like that, or that's what's the thing? That's ghetto or niggerish. I don't think white people say niggerish, but
they probably do in the safeness of their little four walls.
Look, I'm gonna say it like this: I've never heard a white person say niggerish.
Exactly. But
I ain't gonna never hear it.
I ain't gonna put it past them, but you know.
I heard white people say something that's ghetto before, but I had to check them right there and let them know. I was like, what does that mean? Like to say something is ghetto.
Right.
And
you know, I take that back.
Fix that shit.
I take that back. I've seen where it got, they don't say niggerish, they say, you know, if this is one of them arguments, you catch one of them and they're like, that's some nigger shit. Like that. They say that. Normally it turns into a brawl, of course. Yeah. But I have seen that happen. And it's like, yeah, you about to get your ass whooped. I have seen that happen, but you know, we can lump all that together. I mean, hip hop. Let's take hip hop for example. They made that out to be something so negative. Yeah. You know, the way we wear our hair, they made it so negative. Right. The way we dress, they made it so negative. Our entire culture that we have, they made it negative. Even to us, you know, the way that we do with our cars. You know, something as simple as freaking hair. You know, until, you know, now y'all can do cornrows. It's cool.
Dreads is the worst thing. Oh my God.
And that's not saying that, you know, we don't hate, you know, white folks at all. We're just pointing out the facts. But what I do like is that the fact that there are people coming out to saying, all right, look, we screwed up. You know, and I'm cool with that. Yeah. You know, so it all remains to be seen of where it's going to go from here. But
this is my last thing I was going to bring up about the documentary, but They talked about Chicago, and from day one, when I was actually hearing Chicago talk about it, I was like, Chicago is doing it right, because Chicago was legalizing recreational use for marijuana. At the same time, they were expunging, I think that's what you call it.
Yeah.
Expunging people's record that fell in a certain category for marijuana, being jailed for marijuana.
Yeah.
I was like, that's the way it should be done.
Exactly.
It should go hand in hand. If we're going to legalize it for recreational use, these people that fit this criteria for being jailed for marijuana, they should be released as well.
I take it a step further.
And I was going to say, and then they're allowing them to work in the industry, because that was a block too, that felons couldn't work in the marijuana industry.
Yeah, because we. I thought you were done.
Go ahead.
You paused for a second.
Go ahead.
I thought you paused for a good minute. I thought you was waiting on one of us to say
double dutching.
I was like, okay, this our cue
That's
to get
it
in.
right there. That's it.
This our cue for me and G to get back in there. But
go ahead, man.
But nah, like Free Ray Ricky Ross.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, like
that was
the ultimate. Like,
social equity program.
Yeah, which allowed him, I mean, now he's coming off of, drugs, you know what I'm saying? But that program allowed him to work in that industry because it makes sense. It gives them something to do, whereas, if normal, and I don't think his record's going to be a sponge for that, but it gives him, it gives people who went to jail for drug charges another route, because most of the time you go and you try to get a normal job, it's pretty tough.
Yeah.
But with that, hey, it's kind of like your resume. Like, okay, you kind of got experience with drugs, so you're probably a good fit for this.
But would you put that on your resume?
No, but they're gonna see your charge,
right?
Yeah, and you are the right kind of person trying to hire somebody, then that's a recommendation.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's one of the coolest things. I even have some close experience with this, because we have a cousin of the family that actually went to Cali to work on, actually manage an actual weed farm. I have another friend, a close partner his name VJ, and he's actually was telling me that, hey, they finna hire me to come out there to, manage their weed farm. So, they haven't been to jail, but like just the opportunities of being able to, this is an opportunity to work in this area. And both of them love to, smoke anyway. So it's like, it gives them something to go legally do without being stressed of thinking about, hey, I got this little, I got this little, nickel bag, or I got a QP of weed that I'm just trying to go smoke. Yeah. Whereas it's legal. I'm on the farm with this. You enjoy yourself. And the crazy thing is, from the details that I've gotten, and this is from two separate people, like they're, hiring them to come out there to work. Also, they're paying for where they live. They're paying them to work. And, they're around something that they love. And I'm like, that's like the life. Like, right. They're already setting you up with a place to stay, and you're getting paid, and they're paying for where you stay, which is crazy.
Yeah. What did he say? He said this could be the biggest
biggest thing since the transport of oil.
Yeah.
That's what he said.
The biggest shift in wealth. Yeah,
the biggest shift,
since oil.
That and gaming.
Oh yeah, gaming,
like these two industries, man, are booming, and they're going to grow. So, if you have any type of interest or just curious about it, I say allow that curiosity to develop. Look into it. Definitely look look into the laws and everything like that. Follow it because it's a lot of money in that industry. When you have people around the world using this one plant, you have something. And it has proven right. And it has proven health benefits as well, especially with like natural health benefits, as we all are looking into being natural and all that stuff. So the documentary itself, man, Smoke, Marijuana and Black America, great documentary. Shout out to BET for once again giving us something great for 2020. BET really has been showing out this year. Shout out to Nas for actually producing that and hosting. I mean, like being the what they call the MC of it, I guess, of the documentary. Really put together well, giving out a lot of good information and everything like that. So with that being said, fellas, I appreciate y'all, man. This was a great discussion about weed. I feel like one of the conversations I really like. So, hey, guys, thank you again for listening to another episode of the Speaker Geekers podcast. If you haven't already, please go subscribe to the channel like Steve told you at the beginning. At 3M Media Studios on YouTube. You can find us on Instagram and Facebook at Speaker Geekers Podcast. You can find me on Instagram at I am Tommy T the Third. You got G at instantly_G, and you got Steve at the Great Steve-O Steve. Let us know what your thoughts were on this episode. Let us know what you thought about the documentary. Your ideas of, I was about to say your ideas of smoking weed, but no, your ideas about the industry, how you feel about it, what's your thoughts on it, and you guys got anything?
Man, I'm an edibles person. I like that's the part of I want to go into. I'm an edibles person.
Edibles guy.
Yeah, man. Hey, look, my stuff.
That's what we had when we was in Denver. That's what we had.
Hey, smoking is cool. Except for when like I can't breathe. Sometimes I gotta get past that first one, then I can smoke for the rest of the night. I don't know what it is, but I have to die first, and then I'll be fine. But edibles, though, bro, like I can eat it and.
It's so discreet.
Yeah, it's just so discreet.
Bro, edibles are scary to me, man. Like I like edibles, but it's like I don't have control like I do when I smoke.
Man, you just go by the shit on the packaging, bro. Take your ass to a dispensary where they have the dosages on the packaging.
Yeah.
Right.
And then just follow the dosage, my nigga.
But I'm from the class of make these ourselves.
Them niggas tripping. And that's why it need to be legalized.
Right. I've had some homemade edibles before.
That was that rule, like, hey, you don't smoke it if you don't see it rolled. I get it. So you kind of apply that to the edible part, but hey, look here, man. I like edibles a little better.
I like them. I had suckers, brownies, cookies, gummy the bears, all that stuff, man. I like them, but for me, I like the act of smoking too. You know, which is weird. It's like me and Artiga get into it a lot, but it's. It is what it is. So,
hey, you ever had them in your greens? Stop right there. My homeboy Marcus Ramsey, my brother from another mother, he'll know what I'm talking about.
Nah, I never had them in my greens. I've had weed butter before.
Bruh, if they start cooking food,
I've had weed butter. Bro, it's a show. Khalees had a show.
I'm telling you, bro. Let's hurry up and end the episode with talk.
Hey, since if y'all don't got anything else, I'm good. I'm out, man. Peace.
Peace out.